Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my August TBR, but before we get into that, I want to go over how poorly I did with my July TBR. This is the first month that I've been making these TBR videos where I didn't read all of the books. I don't know what it was with July. It just was not my month. I was in a really big reading slump, and the books that I had chosen for my TBR were all like kind of heavier ones, and it was just like a struggle. So I only read 2 books off of that TBR, but they both ended up being 5 stars. So I don't know, it worked out. So the ones that I read were Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. No surprise, seeing as how much I loved her first book, Wilder Girls. I have a whole reading vlog up for this book if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, but it was great. It was creepy, it was weird, it was atmospheric, everything I wanted. And then the other book that I read was The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson, and I filmed a reading vlog for this, which should be up on Monday. But spoiler alert, gave it 5 stars. It's definitely going to be a favorite for the year. I'm obsessed with this book. It was like everything that I wanted. If I could make a list of what I want in a book, it probably would have ended up being this book. So yeah, definitely look out for that vlog when I post it if you want to hear my full thoughts on this. Even though I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't complete my TBR or read more of it, I'm happy with what I read because they were both 5 stars. I also filmed a vlog of me reading a bunch of romance books. That was a lot of fun, and so that is kind of going to transition into my August TBR, where this month I just want to read fun, cozy, comforting romance books. So that is going to be the theme of this TBR. I only want to read fun romances, and the books that I had on my July TBR that I didn't get to, I will be putting into future TBRs. There's still books that I want to read. I just don't feel like right now is the right time. So moving along onto choosing my books. So if you're new here, every month the way that I choose my TBR books is I have a jar, and in this jar are a bunch of challenges. So like this one is first book in a series. So if I pick this, I would pick a book that is first in the series. Here is my full list of the challenges that are in here, but I am adding in 5 new ones that were suggestions from you guys, and a couple that I came up with. The first one that I'm adding is Goodreads. For this one, I will open up my Goodreads and just scroll down until I find the first book that is on my physical TBR. Whether it's a book that somebody just rated or somebody just added to their TBR, whatever the first book is that I physically own and is on my TBR, I will read that. So that one's going into the jar. Then I have title starts with blank. Pretty self-explanatory. I will randomly select a letter and then pick a book that starts with that letter. The next one I have that I'm adding is phone a friend. For this one, I will pick a shelf, take a picture of it, send it to one of my friends, and they'll choose a book for me off of that shelf. Then I have random ebook, which is similar to the Goodreads challenge. So for this one, I will open up my Kindle and randomly scroll through it, and wherever I stop and my finger lands on, I will read that book. And then the last one, which was actually inspired by my 24-hour readathon video that I did, this one is Romance Bag. So in that video, I showed you guys that I had this huge bag filled to the brim with historical romances. So if I choose this one, I will randomly select a book out of this bag and read that. That was something that I actually did in that 24-hour video. I randomly picked a book out of here, and it ended up being a 5-star book, and you guys seemed to like when I did that, so I thought I would incorporate it into my TBR challenge. Okay, with all that done, let's choose the first challenge. The first one I'm gonna pick is this one. So I chose sequel. Okay, sequel. This is difficult since I'm only reading romance books. Let me think of a romance sequel that I have. Oh, for a sequel, I am choosing That Kind of Guy by Talia Hibbert. This is the 3rd book in her Ravenswood series. I loved the first book. I haven't read the 2nd book yet. I don't really think you need to read these books in order. I could be wrong, but this 3rd book sounds so good. It is an age gap romance between an older woman and a younger man, and she is going to all these events where her ex and his new wife are at, and she doesn't want to go alone, so she asks her friend to pretend to be her date at all these events. And it sounds great. I love Talia Hibbert. So, okay, I'm excited for this one. I really want to get one of the new challenges that I put in here. Okay, this one I chose is Rainbow. So for this one, let's see, where's my phone? I have a color wheel app on my phone, and I'm just going to spin the wheel, and whatever color it lands on, I will choose a book with that color. So let's spin it. What color is that? White? Since we're doing like a Talia Hibbert thing, why don't we just go full in and do Get a Life Chloe Brown, also by Talia Hibbert. So this is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while because everyone just raves about it. This is a romance about a girl who has a chronic illness and she almost dies. And so after that, she makes a list of all the things that she wants to do, kind of like a bucket list. And she enlists the help of this guy to help her do all these things on her list. And I've just heard amazing things about this. I really want to read it. And also the sequel, which just recently came out. Let's just do like a whole Talia Hibbert month. I'm not mad about it. She's one of my favorite romance authors. Next, let's do this one. Oh, yes. Okay, I chose Romance Bag. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick something. All right, let's do this one. Oh, okay. So I chose The Duke I Once Knew by Olivia Drake. So this is about a girl who becomes the governess to this duke's children, and it turns out that he is this guy who broke her heart when she was younger. So it's kind of like a second chance romance. I'm very excited for this. I love governess or nanny romances, so I'm very glad this is the one that I chose. I've also never read anything by this author before, so hopefully I end up liking her. All right, next. This one. Okay, I got hyped. So for this one, I have to choose a book that has a lot of hype. So for that one, I'm going to choose One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. I don't know necessarily if this has like the most broad hype or that it's being talked about by a lot of people, but recently I've been seeing a lot of reviews from people that I really trust and reviewers that I really like, and they're all giving it 5 stars, so I'm gonna count that as it being hyped. So this is a romance about a woman who is plus size, and I think she ends up being chosen to be the bachelorette on this like bachelorette type of reality show, and the book goes through her whole season of choosing between all these different men, and I'm very excited. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but the whole Bachelor series of shows is like one of my guilty pleasures. I love it. I've seen every season. I'm always here for the over-the-top drama, so I'm very excited for this. I'm also excited to read a romance with a plus-size main character who's actually plus size on the cover. I mean, it is illustrated, but like, we love to see it. And like I mentioned, a lot of reviewers that I trust have been giving this 5 stars. So I hope that I really love it as well. I have high hopes for it. All right, the next one I'm gonna choose is this one. Okay, I got first book in a series. So for this one, I'm going to choose Royally Screwed by Emma Chase. This is the first book in this royalty romance series that I've really been wanting to read because I believe there was a spin-off series that was released recently, and it's a bodyguard romance, but I think that the main character in that was like a side character in this series, so I want to read this series first. Also, just this series sounds great. I love royalty romances. So this follows Nicholas, who is the crown prince of Wesco, which I'm assuming is a made-up place. I should actually Google it, because if it's not made up, I'm gonna feel really bad. Okay, it's made up. Just wanted to be sure. So it's about this crown prince, and he meets this waitress, and they fall in love, but the royal family doesn't want him to be with like a commoner. I'm very excited to start the series, and I feel like this is gonna be the light, funny romance that I'm just super in the mood for right now. All right, next, I picked historical. Since I already have like a mass market historical romance, I'm gonna pick Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. This is a dark historical romance about pirates. And this is about a woman who is wanted for piracy. I think she's in a love triangle with a pirate and a pirate hunter. I am very, very, very excited for a dark pirate romance. I feel like it's everything that I've been wanting, and I really hope for Pirates of the Caribbean vibes while I'm reading this. So I'm gonna pick one more. All right, I got published before 2015. So for this one, I'm gonna choose Reaper's Property by Joanna Wild. I just bought the first like 4 books in the series in a lot on eBay, and I'm very excited to read this. So this was published in 2012. It is the first book in a motorcycle romance series. And yeah, I'm very excited. I know I've read a motorcycle club romance, but I don't remember what it was. But I really like the TV show Sons of Anarchy, so I want to read more motorcycle club romances, and I know that this one or this series is pretty popular, so I'm excited, although I'm a little bit nervous because it was published almost 10 years ago. So I don't know how things are gonna go, but I'm excited. So here are the books that I've chosen for my TBR. I am very, very excited to read all these. I hope that this month gets me out of my reading slump and I just have like a good, fun time reading these books. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!